at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. This defense for the Steelers, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect?
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive, and also give him a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Browns at 3-5, 2 games under 500. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And now with the play clock getting down, Kevin Stefanski going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that is incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack. and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing Jones. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
No surprise at all. We're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Jones. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okuebi now. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Well, for a tight end, he can definitely motor it. He shows off the wheels there after the catch as he's able to shake free.
Yeah, normally when you talk about tight ends, you immediately begin talking about them rumbling down the field. But to me, he was pretty well gliding downfield there. Very athletic for a big man, and he takes this one all the way to pay dirt.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
Well, he gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
After watching that play result, it took me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and we asked him, so how you plan to move the ball against his defense?
He didn't really tip his hand, did he?
No, he didn't. I think it's because he really didn't have an answer. He wasn't quite sure how he was going to get it done, and that play showed us exactly why he was worried.
Yeah, this #1 defense, they can put that on their highlight reel. They have been able to stop the run all season long. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
York able to send this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones going for the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan. We're trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Taken in at the 11. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cleveland offense ready to go. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. A big play that time out of Chubb. 53 yards. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
In an explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From the 38, Jones. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
They go up the middle with Chubb. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And that's going to be caught for the Browns. Touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Charles, you got to think the number one goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
And on third down, the Browns going to go with a nickel set. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going up top. And incomplete on the deep ball. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to put it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling.
Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And take it right on the 30. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. The Browns drive about to get started.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Watson on 3rd down.
This complete to David Bell. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
York able to send this one through.
And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. From the 30 on 2nd down, Jones escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaughan. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Jones.
He'll get that complete to Albert O.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone.
that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On second down, this is Harris. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Boswell's kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now. It's 16-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They begin this drive with Chubb. Fighting through it, he's got space. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 147 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And again, it's Chubb. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Out of the gun, Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. To throw is Watson. Got a man. It's Schwartz, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the 3rd quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
Chubb on the counter. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game.
York able to send this one through,
and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll try the right side with Harris. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns save. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 43. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
170 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Chubb will get the call, running left. Down to about the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A give. This is Chubb. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Now it's Watson. Able to get away. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Another try after the first down sack. Jones. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 38-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Jones. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now Jones. That's caught downfield by Pickens.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Jones.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Extra point now by Boswell. And oh, it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Now Chubb on first down, able to work his way forward for about 5. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
A run for Nick Chubb. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points.
He's got a man complete. And he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jones. It's brought in by Harris. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw is Jones. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the ball break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Here's Jones to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Steelers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Now Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
So for Cleveland, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.